Powered by Sports Interaction, Canada Sportsbook.
It's over, folks. It's finally over. No notes tonight. No notes, just vibes. For the first time ever in Game Over Calgary history, since I've been on the show at least. And I even had notes on a show where you couldn't hear me. I used the notebook to, I still have that. We're going to take a little trip down memory lane because it is the finale of this season for Game Over Calgary here on SDPN Sports. I'm Auddie James. He's Peter Klein. And as I mentioned, no notes, just vibes. PK, how you feeling?
I feel a sense of relief that this season is over. That this was a grind, as we talked about the other day. But yes, just vibes. I started taking notes on this game, and then about 3 minutes in, I was like, I refuse to care more about this game than the people playing it. So if Coronado does something, I'll take a note. If Dustin Wolf makes a phenomenal save or skates after someone with a skate blade, I'll do that. But aside from that, I'm just here for the ride. That was the game that will forever and always be known as the Nikita Zadorov game.
Yeah, that's it's funny. Hannah's dad texted me and said, "Who had Zadorov hat trick on their bingo card, LOL." And I don't think I would have had that on my bingo card at any point throughout the year. And correct me if I'm wrong, to your knowledge, I'm pretty sure that's the first and will finish as the only Calgary Flames hat trick this season.
Oh, damn,
I'm
you might be
pretty
right.
sure it is. And it came on game 82 from, you guessed it, yep, we all had it, Nikita Zadorov, who finishes the year with 14 goals, one shy of his teammate Jonathan Huberdeau, who will have a very nice extension kicking in next season. It's there's going to be a lot to talk about. Lots of I guess we could say action tonight. It wasn't a whole lot of action, but if you want to get in on the action, make your bet with Sports Interaction. Every hit, every shot, every goal from all your favorites and players like Nikita Zadorov, who, if you bet on a hat trick tonight, I'm sure you're sitting pretty with some jingle in your jeans this evening. With competitive odds, the best live in play, and more ways than ever to get into the game, like Minute Madness, our exclusive game with so many opportunities to win by the minute, and that is exhilarating. Get in on Minute Madness. Download the app in Ontario or use the QR code you see at the bottom of the screen, right beside Peter's mustache on my screen right now. Or head to sportsinteraction.com/SDPN to get started. 19 plus, please play responsibly. And as always, if you're anybody you know has any issues with gambling, please be sure to reach out. There are some resources in the show notes and in the description of the video, so be sure to head over there. I guess not a whole lot to report from the actual game tonight. You could tell these were two teams who just kind of wanted to get on with it.
Yeah. This looked every bit like the last day of school, right? And like it's basically like the teams couldn't get off the ice soon enough. I was a little concerned when Pelche came up limping at one point in the game, because like I want him to play in the American Hockey League playoffs. But yeah, aside from that, like Dustin Wolf got into an NHL game. His parents look adorable. Matt Coronado got to play. I don't know if his skating style is going to be taught at any hockey camps the rest of the way. He kind of looks like some of those videos you see where like each body part is edited individually. He kind of looks like that, but they did like kind of a good job. Like he's better skater than I am. But yeah, you
ever seen the game? I think it's called QWOP. QWOP. No. You're like an Olympic sprinter. And it's on the computer. You could just Google it. I think it's called QWOP. Someone in the chat can fact check that for me. But each part of the leg is controlled with Q, W, O, and P. So like your upper leg is Q, your lower leg is O, like and it's left and right. So like the goal is you got to try to go as fast as you can, and you always just end up flailing. And and that's how Coronado skates. Good tweet from Nault today. He was the one who pointed that out, and I looked at it. Was that first shift where Coronado had that partial break through the neutral zone, and I was like, is he slipping? Did the age-old trick where your teammates put the sock tape on the bottom of your skate blades when you come out and then you just slip? It looked like that, but he was actually engaged in the play and skating up ice. So
whatever works, right? Like it's like a pitcher with a weird delivery, but it somehow gets the plate at 95. Like he gets from point A to point B pretty quickly. It's obviously working for him, and it looks like the shot's legit. So those are my extensive scouting reports for Matt Coronado.
Yeah, same here. I was gonna say pretty much just like the release looked good. We saw a couple shots. We saw a couple chances. You chalk it up to what it is, though. His first game in a meaningless game. Same thing with Dustin Wolf. I had a buddy text me, said, "Hey, I missed the game. How did Wolf look?" I'm like, "Well, it was game 82. It was a meaningless game against a shitty Sharks team who could have won the hockey game. So take it for what it's worth."
Honestly, that's probably not even the best hockey team he'll play this year. Right,
No.
like there's that team is probably, with the exception of Erik Karlsson. Erik Karlsson would be the best player in the AHL.
Yes.
But like that there are teams in the American Hockey League who would beat whatever we saw from San Jose tonight, and honestly, probably whatever we saw from the Flames tonight.
Yeah, so it was a chalk it up to whatever. It was a here's some NHL salary on the last day of the season, and thanks for being the Rock in the AHL right now, because you're gonna probably win MVP, and you're definitely gonna win whatever their best goalie award is called in the American League. Forgive my ignorance there.
I hope it's Vezina with a capital A at the end.
That would be nice. That's for the A, right? Is that
yeah.
the A in
yeah.
American?
Yeah, for the American Hockey League. Yeah.
They should
it's
just
the
call
Vezina award.
The Vezina HL award.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's gonna go on a run with the Wranglers, so I'm not worried about that. Gonna be interesting to see kind of how they go. At least if you're a hockey fan in Calgary, there's that to look forward to. The Wranglers are gonna go on a bit of a run, and it'll be fun. Those are fun games to go to, and now that they're in Calgary, especially, it makes it all that much easier to follow. Okay, it's nice to see everybody in the chat. We've marketed this show as listener appreciation. We had a few ideas that we kind of wanted to try to do, but logistically just didn't work out. We wanted to have some of you on the show. Maybe that's something we can do next year. It's kind of like, the more I say next year, it's kind of sad that this is our last show.
Right?
Like, this is it. Like, there's no more Game Over Calgary till October after this.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Like, we both are in agreement that I want to watch none more of the Calgary Flames this season. Like, I am full on tapped out. But I want to keep doing these shows, so I don't know how we do that. Which
Game Over Blue Jays.
Yeah.
Is anybody watching that can make that decision?
Yeah, right. Obviously, pretty clear where my allegiances are with that one. But yeah, no, I'm going to miss this show a lot. I love chatting with everyone in here, but I do not want to watch any of that team again.
No. I was talking to some people today about it too, and they're like, "Oh, like, are you kind of sad that this is it for, like, this is your last show?" And like, "Oh, well, hopefully we'll be back next year. I don't know what the future holds, but I'm hoping that PK and I are both back next year." So there's that. But also, like, I'm happy that the season is done, and this is our first, like, mine and yours, first full year of it. Like, because when we started up last year, we did a couple games before the playoffs, and that's when we ran into all sorts of tech hiccups. And the notorious frozen Auddie meme was born. And we had our little playoff run there. We did what, like, would have been the Dallas series went to 7.
Yeah.
And then they got bounced in 5.
And 2 regular season games. We did 14 games.
Yeah. I think I did 14 games in December when you were stuck in Mexico.
Yeah, what was me?
Yeah, what was you? You were like, "Oh, I'm stuck in Mexico. You're gonna have to cover me." Oh, yeah, fuck you. But anyways, yeah. So, like, you put it in that perspective, it's like, holy shit, it's draining. But I loved every second of it. The thing that was draining about it was the fact that we had to watch what we had to watch all year, given the high praises and high hopes. You had sports books putting the Flames in the top 3 to win the Stanley Cup, and it was an emotional roller coaster dating back to July, and that did not stop between July and now. So, yeah, don't be sad that I saw a comment in here. What did it say? Don't be sad that it's ending. Be happy that it happened, or something like that.
I'm not, like, again, I'm happy this show happened. I'm not happy this Flame season happened.
Yeah. I'm in full agreement there.
Yeah, don't be sad that it's over. Be happy that Tyler Toffoli scored 34 goals this season.
Yeah. Be happy that Jonathan Huberdeau now holds the record for the in NHL history. I saw this graphic from our friend Salim Valji at TSN that he now holds the record for the biggest point differential from year to year. So
Yeah, it's great.
That is a new NHL record.
Yeah, and like Julian pointed out on Zone Time, if Connor McDavid didn't exist, Matthew Tkachuk might have won the Hart this year. So great trade so far. Going fantastic.
Yeah, and shout out. I don't know if he's in here or not. Mike Gould. Shout out to him for getting absolutely decimated in the quote tweets from people who found his earlier predictions of. He said, "I'm not going to sue him." Okay, you know what? Fuck it. I love you, Gould. He said that he didn't think Tkachuk was going to surpass 80 points this year. I think it might have even been 70, but they found him, and they let him know how many points Matthew Tkachuk has and where the Florida Panthers are heading, and the Calgary Flames are not. So it's gonna be an interesting offseason too. Like there's gonna be a lot that transpires here.
I hope so.
I think that I'm pretty optimistic it's going to be a busy summer, possibly busier than what we saw last year. And, Leslie's kind of hinted at it, and Francis has hinted at it. And, those guys are pretty well connected when it comes to this organization. And they both hinted that, things are probably going to change and maybe a bit of a shakeup. So we'll see what happens there.
Yeah, I don't think. I think at this point it would be a shocker if Brad Treliving was the general manager of this team, even as of Friday. Like his contract is up now, so I don't think there will be an official firing or anything like that. But I think you'll get some kind of a release that the two sides are parting ways.
Yeah,
and look, like I think Treliving did a great job as the general manager with this team, but I also like scoreboard. And it's not a flattering one to the general manager. So the person in charge of the changes will definitely be a different person. And then after that, a lot depends on the coach and the relationship that the coach has with the organization and what direction they want to go in. There are so many different ways that this season could go. And you're right. Like, I don't think it's going to be as noteworthy as Gaudreau to Columbus and the Tkachuk Huberdeau trade, Monahan to Montreal, Kadri back in. I don't think you're going to have the big name changes necessarily, but I do think it's going to be a bit more active this offseason from a Calgary Flames perspective. And like rightfully so, like this season is quite frankly an embarrassment. So, you got to make these changes.
Yeah. And, another thing to keep in mind too is one of the things that Jay Money brought up was $84 million on the books next season. So there's really no wiggle room. They're already over the salary cap next year. It's going to be interesting to see what they do to become cap compliant, move some pieces out, backfill some of those bottom six roles with some younger talent. We saw some flashes from the youth tonight. Maybe some players are ready to graduate, take on a bigger role from the Wranglers. We'll see. A lot of people, you are a little laggy in your video. We could hear you perfectly fine, but everybody commenting on the Peter lag, and it wouldn't be Game Over Calgary without technical troubles. But Rob saying Peter's Wi-Fi would like the season to be over, but we will power through. And I don't think it's Wi-Fi because I can hear you perfectly fine. It's just a little bit of a delay in your video. But enough with the analysis. We're here to thank you guys. We're not ending the show. We still got some time. We got lots of things planned here. But we want to thank you guys. We want this to be geared around you. We want to have some fun with you because this is the last time that all of us are going to be able to chop it up until October of 2023. And a lot of things are going to change by then. It's going to be a completely different looking team. It's going to be could be a completely different looking Game Over Calgary. Who knows? They might say, "Hey, Auddie, Peter, we don't like you guys anymore. We're going to bring someone else in." It might not even be us. I hope that's not the case. But we want to, celebrate you guys. We want to have some fun, and we have some stuff here that we're going to do. We're going to make it a little interactive. And do you want to start with your segment, your little idea? What are your thoughts here? Oh, did I lose him completely? Oh no. Hopefully you guys can still hear me. Bear with me as we go through some technical issues here, trying to connect Peter right back with us. So I will just try to fix this on the fly. I'm going to try my best. I'm not great at improvisation, but we're going to try to figure this thing out. We're going to do this together. That's the whole point of this, right? We're all going to do this together. Peter, if you're listening, I believe you can still use the same Zoom link that I sent you. So we will try to get Peter reconnected. If not, we are going to do the, you know what? This is kind of like a full circle moment. The first time that we ever did Game Over Calgary last season. Yeah, Frozen Peter. Frozen Peter's now the new meme. But what I was saying, the first time we ever did Game Over Calgary, I completely froze, and I was so angry because I froze and I kept getting booted out. Yeah, Peter can hear us sort of. I was completely frozen out, and Peter had to run the show. And obviously, with his background in radio and how much of a consummate pro he is, he carried the show, and it was fantastic. But it's kind of a full circle moment now, as Peter Klein is the one experiencing the technical issues, and I'll have to try to carry the show on and get him back into the call. Yes, the same Zoom link, Peter, if you are listening. But yeah, anyways, back to the point of us wanting to celebrate you. This is the listener appreciation, because we appreciate you. You guys are the ones, as much as we complain about having to, not complain, but like, you know, we come on and we talk about, you know, how much of a, not burden it is, as I think we're back in action here. Hold on a second, as, we gotta fix something. Just give me 2 seconds here, folks, as I quickly fix the old screen. And here we are. We're back in business. Peter, hello.
Hi, it's first time people have been able to see my shirt all year. So,
hey.
Mixing things up.
Well, you're back, and I had to stall as much as I possibly could, but I'm glad you're here. I just rambled about, this is like a full circle moment from when I was frozen, and now there's the Frozen Peter meme. So now we both have our Frozen memes. But anyways, as I was saying before, you as Kaya said before, Peter took a nap on the screen because your eyes were shut. Should we get into some of the fun stuff now? Like, I think the analysis is done for the year on Game Over Calgary.
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah, I don't have a lot of notes on the Flames penalty kill from tonight. So yeah, I'm pretty good getting into the fun stuff now.
Okay, let's. I'll start with my thing. I know we both had a few things we wanted to do. I wanted to do like 2022-2023 Flames trivia with you and the listeners, because who doesn't love trivia? It's relevant to this team and this season specifically. And then I started trying to figure out, okay, what kind of questions should I ask? And I was like, I realized right then and there I could not be like a Jeopardy writer. I suck at finding questions that would be good for trivia. But I came up with 3, and I don't know if they're good. I don't know if they're bad. But we're all gonna play together. We're all gonna have some fun. And before you answer, we're gonna give some time for the chat to try to catch up and give us their answers before you do. Sir, are you ready for Flames 2022-2023 Calgary Flames trivia question number 1?
I was born ready. Let's do this. All right,
that's what I like to hear. Question number 1: who scored the very first goal? Now we see 2 of you. Hold on, I'm gonna boot your. I'm gonna boot you.
My laptop trying to connect.
Yeah, I'm gonna just boot you.
Yeah.
Bye. Okay, you are good now.
Sorry about that.
That's okay. I was like on the screen. I'm like, what the hell's going on here? Where's OBS? There we go. Okay. Question number 1: who scored the first goal of the year for the Calgary Flames?
See, I thought you might ask this, and so I was going to look it up, but I decided to keep the integrity of this game.
I like that.
As
I respect
well as we
you
could.
for that.
Yeah. Well, thank you. So am I allowed to answer right away, or are we pausing for dramatic effect to allow the...
We can pause briefly for dramatic effect, just because I want to see what some of... I want to see if some of the chat catches up first. And are you looking at the chat, by the way?
I can't now, no.
Okay, good. Perfect. I hope this is correct, because I'm pretty sure Oh fuck, maybe I got it wrong. I don't know. Because I tested my brother earlier, and he answered with what Noah said, but I'm pretty sure. Okay, yeah, no. Now the right answers are coming through. Okay, you can answer whenever you wish, but Noah is incorrect. Kaya is incorrect. Peter, what is your guess for Flames' first goal of the season?
Beautiful symmetry. I think it'd be awesome if it was Zadorov. But I can't get it out of my head that I keep looking at my actual camera. I can't get it out of my head that Kadri had actually a pretty good start to the season. So I'm going to say Nazem Kadri.
You would be incorrect. It is not Nazem Kadri. It is everybody's favorite, Mr. Inevitable, Brett Ritchie, who scored the first goal for the Calgary Flames. And everybody thought it was I thought it was Dubé to start too, and then my brother was like, it was Dubé. I was at that game. I'm like, no, he scored the second goal. So that's why when Noah said Dubé, I was like freaking myself out. Like, did I get this right? Because no one knows everything about the Flames. And I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
If no one knows it, then I surely got it wrong. It is Brett Ritchie. Okay, so you're 0 for 1. But don't worry. You can still get that batting average back up. You got 2 more cracks at this.
All right.
And the third question, you're going to have multiple, you could get multiple right answers. So this one might come easy to you. It might not, because I don't know. I didn't know this until I looked it up. We're going to stay on the Brett Ritchie train. Obviously, Brett and Nick Ritchie were traded for each other as part of the deal that brought in also Troy Stetcher and sent out our pal Connor Mackey. How many times in NHL history have brothers been traded for each other prior to this trade?
Prior to this trade, it's none, right? Like this was the first.
Yes, that is correct. Okay, I knew that one would.
Sorry,
be
I got
easy.
that one too quick.
No, that's okay. That's okay. I wasn't sure if that was like, oh, everybody knows that this is the first time, and then I put the question in, and then I was looking it up to make sure I had it right, and like the official NHL account tweeted that it was the first time that it had ever happened in the league's history, and I'm like, oh fuck, everybody knows this now, so this is perfect. Yeah, and everybody in the chat, you get bonus points as well for guessing 0.
Yeah.
So good on the chat. Okay, so you're 1 for 3. This one, I'm going to say, let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 7 right answers. I'm going to say you got to get, let's see.
Make it 4, like a best out of 7, right?
Get 4. Yep, you got to get 4. Matt Coronado makes his NHL debut today, graduating from the NCAA. 7 of his teammates in the Calgary who have played for the Flames this year also graduated from the NCAA, came right to the NHL from there. Who are 4 of those 7?
Jesus. God damn.
I'm throwing you on the spot here.
I have a list of players in front of me. Did Blake Coleman?
Blake Coleman did, yes, from University of Miami, Ohio.
Just to be able to say his name multiple times tonight. Did Walker Dewar?
Dewar? I hardly know. Yeah, Walker Dewar did, yes.
I barely know her.
Yeah. Dewar, Minnesota State.
God, do they even have colleges when Lewis was going? Lewis?
No.
Trevor Lewis? No? Okay. Rosichka? No.
No.
No. Stetcher?
No. Yes, Nodak.
Okay.
Nodak, yes.
And so I have 3.
There's 3.
One more. Who would have not? No, Uyghur played in the Memorial Cup.
That's Mooseheads, baby.
Yeah.
I think there's a glaringly obvious one that you're going to be like, oh, how the fuck didn't I get that once we...
100%. There's going to be like 4 of them that are like that. Not Wolf, it's not... Is it Gilbert? No.
Yes.
He's not
yes, it is. Yes. It is. Dennis Gilbert is a Notre Dame product.
Okay.
The glaringly obvious one that I thought you were going to get was Noah Hannafin, Boston College.
Oh, fuck. Yeah.
And then who else did you miss? Chris Tanev, RIT.
Really? Oh, I was going to say Tanev. I was like, oh, no, that'd be dumb. No, okay.
I did the research and I glazed over Tanev because I'm like, oh, he surely played junior somewhere and came right to the NHL from junior. He apparently is an RIT graduate or graduated from their program. But everybody else, you got Coleman, you got Dewar, Gilbert. The one that you also missed was Nick DeSimone.
Oh, yeah. I missed that because he is not on my list for one of the games we're going to do later, so I missed that one. Also, I didn't know that, so that is another reason why I missed it.
Union College for all those who are curious. So 2 for 3. That's a pretty good. That's some Matt Chapman looking numbers right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, good for you. I was gonna try to find more. And instead of trying to find more while the game was happening, I just decided to doom scroll TikTok and not really pay too close attention to this meaningless game. So great on you.
I'm glad we prepped the same way.
I think everybody did.
Yeah.
Quickly going to check some of the chat. Seb, what's up, brother? He says Lewis played in Owen Sound, which, yes. I had to make sure which ones were OHL and whatnot. J Money says Dewar, Coleman, Hannafin, Gilbert, Mackey. Yeah, Mackey would have technically been, but he's not a Flame anymore.
Arizona Coyote, great.
Yeah, Coyotes legend. Him and Yusuf Alamaki, and soon to be Matthew Phillips as well. Technically not a Coronado teammate. Who are you referring to? Yes, probably DeSimone, but yes, I meant. Technically, I meant to say like within the organization. But anyways, I was trying to keep on the theme of Coronado's debut and college. But yeah, good on you. That was good. Everybody, round of applause for my lovely co-host Peter Klein on going 2 for 3.
Thank you.
I wish I had some more for you, but I don't.
That's fine. There wasn't a whole lot trivial worthy from the Flames this season.
No, I was like, I was gonna think of one. I was trying to actually maybe do a bit of research, but it was gonna need some extensive digging, and it was how many how many first NHL goals did Jacob Markstrom allow this year? But I would have had to really go through and like deep dive into every game and look up random names but that didn't end up happening.
Well, we had the back-to-back there. Like Nashville had a dude who scored his first, and Vancouver, I think, had like a draw. Did like section 125, row 9, seat 8, come on down, and that guy scored. So that like it was like back-to-back here to close out the season. They finished strong.
Yeah, was it McWard? Does that ring a bell for Vancouver?
Sure.
Something like that.
Those,
and then Afanasiev.
Those are sounds that sound like they came together to form someone's name.
Yeah, too many consonants. Too many consonants, not enough vowels. Afanasiev, or the other way around. But, but either way. Somebody says, Peter, are you related to Ralph Klein?
I am not. No. No. If
Alberta
I did, I'd have internet that works. So.
Well, I'm with Shaw, so I'm technically Rogers now. So. We love.
Oh yeah, I guess I am too.
Yeah. I got the email. It's like, oh, you're now with Rogers. I'm like, sure as fuck am, aren't I? Anyways, for another day. Yeah, Cole McWard, Kaya, saving the day there. Mitch saying, where is Toffoli getting traded? I think that's gonna lead into your segment pretty soon here. Let's see, what else did everybody say here? A lot of right answers, and yeah, it's just all trivia answers. Do you want to tease what you have here? It's a little fun one.
Yeah, so I have two, and I guess we'll kind of just produce. Yeah, because the over unders one.
Oh, right, let's do that one. Yeah.
All right, let's do over unders first, and then we'll get into RuPaul's Drag Race theme game at the end of this.
Let's go.
So let's do over unders. And now, admittedly, I thought this would be easier to find, and it wasn't. So I'm going to do preseason over unders, where people thought the Flames would be, certain players, how the season might go for them, and then how it did or didn't go. So shout out the Win Column, who wrote that they had a full piece on this at the beginning of the year, and I 100% just took the numbers from there. So. The first one went under significantly. Jonathan Huberdeau, his assist total was set at 69.5.
Nice.
He missed missed that by a bit. He would almost have to play 2 seasons to get to that, as he finished with 40 assists. Remember when we felt good about that and everyone was very positive?
Yeah, everybody was and I can't even I was on the wagon too of we won the trade. The Flames won the trade.
Yeah.
They got the extensions done. These two are locked in. That was the only thing holding them back. And then then this season happened, and that bubble was quickly burst.
Yeah, and now it's, oh man, I wish they wouldn't have signed the extensions. Nazem Kadri, the goal total was set at 24.5. And the win column knows what they're doing because the final number came in at 24.
Oh, good for. Yeah, that's. Whew. Yeah, I don't know. These are not. All I can say is these are not very surprising numbers so far.
No, this one is a little bit like, oh man. And I didn't even realize it until yesterday or the other day when they brought it up. Elias Lindholm goal total was set at 37.5.
Oh.
The under cashes out significantly at 22.
Oh. Whoa. 37 and a half?
Yeah, wasn't it Huberdeau's press conference where he said that Lindholm would get 50 with him?
Oh, yeah.
So,
he did. He did. Yeah. He scored 40 or something last year. He's going to score 50 with me. Yeah, that was the first nail in the coffin, wasn't it? Eesh.
Yeah, didn't even play 50 games with him before they got juggled around. All right, we'll go a bit quicker here. Tyler Toffoli goals. The total was 27.5. Obviously, he clears that. I don't know if many people had him leading the team in scoring.
No, I don't think anybody did.
No. Mangiapane goals was set at 29.5 for a 30-goal season last year. He comes in at 17. I was surprised with this one. Dylan Dubé points was 39.5, 45. So
he had a good year.
Relative,
sneaky okay year.
Yeah, not talked about a ton on the ice. I thought Dubé was actually pretty solid this year.
Yeah, he'd make a good case for me as a most improved kind of player,
Mm-hmm.
or like a took a step kind of player. I thought his season was underrated in the negativity surrounding the team.
Yeah. And then just a couple more here. Goalies, Markstrom starts was at 59.5. He only got into 59 games and didn't start all of those. So the under hit. And Dan Vladar wins was at 10.5. And he picked up 14 on the year. And the number that's going to just remind everyone where we were several months ago. The total for Flames points coming into the season, as they were projected and favored to win the Pacific Division, was 102.
Oh, fart.
Yeah. They, in case you didn't notice, they came under that. If they came over that, we'd still be doing shows. But here we
wouldn't be. Yeah, we wouldn't be. We wouldn't be so sad about the season ending if that were the case. Wow.
Yeah.
That bad, eh? Wow. So basically, what you're saying is, if you hit the under on the majority of these, you're probably, like I said earlier, got a little more jingle in your jeans.
Yes, yeah. The under was definitely the way to go on basically every Calgary Flame this year.
And coming into this season, I would have fucking rode the over on every single one of those.
Oh yeah.
I would have.
Yeah, I would have thought
yeah, and that's the story of my Sports Interaction season this year. They made a lot of money off of me.
Well, they gave some of it back to me as Nikita Zadorov helps them hit -1. The Flames hit -1.5. So
there you go, perfect.
Yeah, nice little bounce back at the end of the season.
Oh man, yeah, a lot of comments. The win column love. Let's go. Markstrom allowed 2. Oh wow, Jay Money actually went and found the numbers. Markstrom allowed 2 first career goals. Leaders were Martin Jones and Jake Allen, who allowed 3 first career goals each. Can we get a round of applause for Jay Money for digging that up? That's awesome. I've leaned on, and speaking of listener appreciation, before we segue into your next point, or should I say before we sashay into your next point? So, speaking of listener appreciation, I got to shout out Jay Money. He has been in this every single friggin' stream that I've done, at least. I'm sure he's been in damn near every single one you've done as well.
Yep.
Comes in and talks his talk. He chirps us a little bit, puts in a lot of good insights, and when called upon, backs up all the stats. He's done that for me a couple times. He was the one who found out my overall record when hosting Game Over. for wins and losses and whatnot. So shout out to Jay Money, a true SDPN loyalist at his core, and we appreciate you. I know you're a big fan of the CJ show, and Julian as well. But thank you for always being here, and thank you for doing everything you do. So shout out and round of applause to our boy Jay Money. Okay.
Yeah.
Had to give him the plug,
Yeah, no, of course. I'm both Jay Money and Robert. I'm convinced there's about 6 of them.
Yes.
I can't believe that one person does all of the things that both of them do. So I think that there are several clones of both just rummaging around, helping to get everything done.
Yes, Robert. I don't know how Robert does what he does. He is without we're gonna thank Robert. I was gonna park a lot of time to thank Robert because a lot of
yes.
We'll get to Robert because I think Robert deserves a big chunk of our time in terms of a thank you. But also Conrad's always here. Shout out to Conrad.
Mm-hmm.
James Johnson has been on the show a few times. He's always in the chat. Adam, I see Adam's in here. If left-handed penman is here, I haven't seen him yet, but he's always in our chat. Seb's here. He's been on the show. David is always here. And that's something that I think actually, there's left-handed penman now. Something that you and I talked about before when we kind of put out some tweets about it. The community the game over community that we've built here, at least for the Calgary show, is so strong and to its core are all the same people who religiously come in and listen to us ramble about how bad this season has gone. And do it with a smile on their face. They're the reason, truthfully, and this isn't just me being sappy, but a big reason why it's so enjoyable despite the year is because of everybody who's listening and everybody who's watching and putting comments in.
I would say the only reason it's been enjoyable
Yes.
hasn't been the hockey. So no, and working with the people that we've been able to work with this year. But no,
Yes.
you're right. Coming from the last place that I worked and the fan feedback line, that text line is toxic as fuck, man. And honestly, one of the things I was so happy about was not having to deal with that anymore. And then I went back for a couple of shows and everyone was very nice to me. But for the most part, it was just an absolute toxic wasteland on there. And so when I heard okay, we're going to go live on YouTube and there's a chat, I was like, I know how YouTube comments are. So this is going to be a nightmare. And the community that's been built here has been phenomenal. A couple of bad eggs here and there, but we shut those guys down pretty quickly. So no, the community that's been built here, it is so much fun to come on here and just shoot the shit and talk about the Calgary Flames and the ups and the several downs that there have been this season with this team. Having this community that's been here every step of the way and growing every step of the day. To see the numbers for the last show was really great. And to see everyone and all the regulars and seeing some people who have been here since October, some people who have been here since January, and some people who have been here since Monday. It's been really, really cool to see.
Yeah, I think that's one of the coolest parts about this job is the interaction and seeing everybody and I think the coolest thing too is before I'm about to hit go live, I always open up the stream on my phone. You can see it right here. I got the chat queued up, and seeing the people that are waiting. It's always the same people that turn the TV off or turn their stream off on whatever platform you're watching the game on, and immediately come over to the SDPN Sports YouTube channel, click on waiting for the Game Over Calgary stream, and start shooting the shit with each other as if everybody's best friends. So it's awesome, man. And from the bottom of my heart, I'm not trying to be sappy, but this is the coolest and the best job that I've ever had in my life, and I don't take a second of it for granted. It's been great, and to work with you, right? The legendary Peter Klein, the one that I idolized on the radio for so long, and then that was no more, and I stopped listening to that station because of it. So a big thanks to you too. I feel like I don't thank you enough for everything you do and everything you've done to help me.
for taking all the time off, so you get more practice doing the shows. But no, yeah, I'm very bad at taking compliments, so I will say I'm not even the most legendary Peter who's ever worked at 960. I'm a strong candidate for the bronze though, but behind Mar and Labardius.
And Lubo.
Yeah. So no, but no, like it's been on just to see how much of a fucking rock star you've been this year has been awesome as well. And now we're getting super sappy. But no, like you've been so easy to deal with. Like we've had technical issues, whatever. I got scammed on a laptop like a week ago, and we're just rolling with it. So no, it's been great. It's been so easy to do that the whole team's been phenomenal as well. And yeah, just one more time, like shouting out all of the people you mentioned, Conrad. I've seen him at a couple of AJ games this year. One at his barn out at Max Bell, my very, very, very old stomping grounds, and a couple of times in Okotoks as well. And I hopefully will be bumping into him at some Cavalry games this year. And if you ever see me at anything, come up and say hi. I'm definitely weird in public, but like if you can work your way through that, it's all right. So yeah, just once again, thank you to everyone.
Of course, yeah. No, we kind of flew off the rails there. We still have one more segment to go, so let's
Yeah.
let's get to that. Then we'll do our final thank yous and our final sign off for this season of Game Over Calgary.
All right, so this is a segment that I think I did one time on the radio, but I won't fully admit that because that would mean they would own the IP for it. So for people who maybe aren't familiar with RuPaul's Drag Race, this is a game called Sashay Away or Shantae You Stay, which are the two things that RuPaul says to the drag queens who have to lip sync for their life at the end of every episode. Everyone loves a double Shantae You Stay. I am heartless, so I love a double Sashay Away. We need to get
those
more
are
of those.
Best, yes.
Yeah. There are some where it's like, yeah, neither of you deserve to be on my television anymore. So what we're gonna do now is do this, but it's the Shantae You Stay Sashay Away Calgary Flames edition. We're gonna go through the roster and say if we want them to come back or not. And in using the RuPaul terminology. And so
good luck,
I have,
and don't fuck it up.
Bravo.
Thank you.
I made my list based on how I would build this team. So
okay.
These are from the general manager Peter Klein.
Okay.
And what I would do. And I think I'm going to get some pushback on some, but that's how I went about it. If you want to do what you think is going to happen or what you would do, yeah, the choice is yours.
All right, let's get into it. I'm excited.
All right, the very first one, we're going to start with the forward group, and we're going to go alphabetically as I rocket a pen across my desk. Michael Backlund. Starting off tough.
Yeah, it is tough because there was a report that he put a trade request in, and the team rescinded it this year at the start of the year. Coming off a good season, 1 year left on his deal. Probably a pretty tradable guy, but also a franchise icon for the last few years. Just kind of been one of those constants. I'm going to say, all that said, Sashay Away.
Yeah, I think Sashay Away.
I think that the stock in him is the best it'll ever be. And if you can get something for him now, and like I said earlier, backfill with some youth. We want a youth injection. He served his purpose. Send him somewhere where he's going to get a cup or be in a contender. And see what you can get back for him.
No, I completely agree. The one kind of asterisk I put on that is everyone who plays with him gets better.
That's true.
And I feel like having that with a young player would be great, but also I feel like that would be a miserable existence for Michael Backlund. Like, hey, can you just fix 21-year-olds for us this year? Yeah. That would be phenomenal. So for his sake, I say Sashay Away. Up next, Blake Coleman. I'm also going to say Sashay Away.
Okay.
Once again, a strong part of this team, of like one of the best lines this team has had this season. I don't know what you could get for him, but like you said, I'm in full teardown mode. If you haven't noticed with this team, I think this should have been the mantra at the deadline. Where we're going to potentially miss out on a phenomenal draft in 2023. But I think that this is a team that needs to absolutely reload. So I am under no delusions that you'd get a first-round pick for Blake Coleman, but I feel like that is valuable ice time that could be given to someone else.
Yeah, I was going to go with Shantae You Stay, but you've kind of convinced me otherwise at this point. Yeah, I guess so. I liked the year Blake Coleman had. You kind of know what you're gonna get from him in kind of a bottom six role that he's pretty much only played since he's been here.
Mhm.
Makes a decent amount of money, which is kind of the sachet away part for me.
Yeah.
Is like they're going to be in a really tight cap crunch next season. If you can save some dough and ship guys out, then you definitely explore it. But I think I'm somewhere in the middle. I don't know if I'm fully on either side for Blake Coleman, so I'm going to just stay neutral, I think, for now.
Go on. So Blake
Cop
Coleman's
out.
just safe.
Yeah, I think he's just safe for me.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
just going back to Untucked and getting
That's
getting
right.
a drink there.
That's right.
Matt Coronado, this is a pretty easy one. This is a Shantae, you stay.
Shantae, you freaking stay, please, and
Yeah.
don't leave in free agency.
Please.
Yes.
Ever. Dylan Dubé. This one, I felt was kind of obvious, was a Shantae, you stay. Like, you're looking for young players. He certainly fits that. There are investigations around World Junior teams he was on. If those do bring a few things to light, then yeah, absolutely get the fuck away. But given everything we know now on April 12th, it's a Shantae, you stay.
Yeah, Shantae, you stay for me. I think he kind of fits that timeline of like, some youth that could potentially come up, and he's just kind of like, he's still young but could be seen as a vet by those guys. He's been in the league for a little bit now. And yeah, I like the player. Aside from hopefully no legal ramifications on his end.
Mhm.
But yeah, he's a stay for me.
Walker Dewar.
You Shantae, you stay,
Yeah.
and you slay, please. You've been
Yeah.
been so good.
Yeah, he's the guy who's like third or fourth liner for the Flames for the next like 15 years. Like,
Yes.
just like lock him in
Yeah.
right now.
Oh yeah, he's staying.
7x2. Just keep him in there. This is an interesting one. Jonathan Huberdeau.
Shantae, you stay. I'm convincing myself this year was a blip. I think given look at how good he was in the spot that he's played his whole career on that left side. He did not look good prior to that, and I think that we're probably going to get to the reason why, and that'll be a sachet away for me. But
Yeah.
we'll save it for that point. But I'm going to say Shantae, you stay. Also because it's going to be very hard to move that contract.
Yeah, I think that the next two here with Huberdeau and with Kadri,
Yes.
it's you'd be selling low, you'd be selling at very expensive.
Yes.
And odds are you'd have to like attach something at this point, I think. So
Yeah.
those are both Shantae, you stays for me. This
Yep.
can be a quick one. Trevor Lewis, it's sachet away for me. It's just like he's fine, but go do that on a team that has higher aspirations than what I think the Flames will have.
Yeah. Can we do a double sachet away? Because I know you're going to go to Milan Lucic next.
Yeah, we can do that one.
We'll do a double. They were both up for elimination, and after some criticism from Mama Roo, they both just got the boot.
Yeah, we stopped the song midway through and was like, hey, your mouth is covered. We need you to uncover that. One of the great moments in television history.
I couldn't believe that. I was like, all you got to do is remove it.
I prefer.
We
to
know
keep it
you
on
don't know the
things.
words.
Yeah.
And
top
she was
two,
so
it's that
good.
one.
Oh,
Yeah, it's not part of my fantasy.
yeah.
But no, top two reality TV moments for me are that and someone spelled a Bible verse wrong on Ink Master one time.
Nice.
Tattooed that on a human and got Corinthians wrong. Elias Lindholm.
It's a sachet
I will
away.
say, yeah, sachet away for me too. Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go on, though.
No, that's fine. I paused, which is your cue, and then I just went. I just feel like, again, the next time this team is good, I don't know where he'll be at. So get some assets for that now, and just kind of move on, I think.
Yeah, I mean, prior to this season, I think he almost could have potentially priced himself out of re-signing anyways.
Yeah.
And, contract year, maybe he turns it on next year, and I think that's the perfect time to recoup some assets and move on.
The next couple I think are probably pretty easy. Mangiapane and Pelche were Shantae.
We're both, yeah, that's a double Shantae, you stay.
Yeah. And then the last of the forwards is Tyler Toffoli. I will say, sachet away. You deserve better than us, Tyler Toffoli.
Rob, we love you.
Yeah.
Sachet
Trade him
away
to Toronto.
to the Toronto Maple Leafs or back to the LA Kings.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That way Rob wins. That's the only reason I care about anything to do with Tyler Toffoli is if Rob wins. But
Yeah.
But like, you know what? The way I see it is this sachet away is like a self-inflicted kind of like the way I see it is like when Dela removed herself from All-Stars because she was just too fucking good. I'm going home. But yes, Toffoli is Dela in this situation, and sachet away.
Yeah, it's you are now and will forever always be an all-star.
Yes.
That is what you say as Toffoli leaves.
Also, side note, Dela, like, she needed to win that season of All-Stars. I'm so upset that she left. But anyway.
Yeah.
So good.
I also feel bad for Trixie because, like, after Dela left, Trixie was awesome, and now it feels like a tainted.
And now it's like, oh, well, I won, but at what cost?
Yeah.
Only because Dela left.
Yeah. This next one pretty easy. Rasmus Anderson, Shantae, you stay. I feel like that one's pretty obvious.
Yep.
Same with the next one here. Noah Hannafin, Shantae, you stay. Any disagreements there?
I would argue sachet away.
Really?
Yeah, another pending UFA after next season, I believe. Again, he was serviceable this year. I think he was good. I think that you can probably move him out and recoup some assets, and that's it too. Like the Flames just don't really have very many assets in the pipeline, I guess, like beyond their your Zaris and your Poiriers who haven't graduated yet. I think you can probably get a solid return for Noah Hannafin and then backfill him with, like, I don't know, Michael Stone's inevitable. He's probably coming back. And then Shillington, right? Like Shillington's, we don't know if he's coming back or not, but if he is, there's another, replacement there. And then, hopefully by the time, like not next season, but the season after, maybe Poirier is ready to make the jump. I know he's pretty highly touted in a lot of people's minds. But I would say sachet away to Hannafin.
That's, I guess, like if you're going to blow things up, like that would probably be one of the biggest trade chips they would have, right?
More than likely, yeah.
That makes a lot of sense. Auddie is making smarter moves than I am. That's great. And
I don't know about that.
As you said, Poirier develops well on NHL 23, so
he does. Yep, he does.
Be locked in.
That's right.
Yeah. We're both stone cold locked in on this one. Troy Stetcher, Shantae, you stay and give him a letter.
Please stay. Yes. Yeah. Troy Stetcher, yes, you are a Calgary Flame for life. I'm sorry to report.
Stone.
I mean, sure, why not? Like,
yeah,
I don't know. Like, I couldn't care either way, to be honest.
Yeah, Sachet, you get a PTO.
Yeah, Sachet, here's your PTO, and we will sign you the day before the regular season starts.
Yeah, PTO, and here you go. We're staying with the rhyming.
Yeah.
For me, Chris Tanev is a sachet away. Again, veteran defenseman who gives like his entire body to the team that he's playing on in the sport of hockey. So go do that on a contending team.
I'm with you. Yep, I wholeheartedly agree.
Mackenzie Weegar is a Shantae, you stay. That contract would be impossible to move. And I think there's the potential that he's just awesome. So that's where I
firmly believe that we didn't even get to see the best of Mackenzie Weegar this year. And he was so good. He was so good.
Barely scratched the surface, I think.
I think that there's still some more in there, and we haven't seen it yet.
I'll be honest. I had sachet away for Nikita Zadorov, but now... we need to say sachet away to some of the green space in front of the dome so we can build a statue.
That's 14 goal scorer, Nikita Zadorov, to you.
Right. Yeah, I think that there was one, like his 3 goals tonight was more than every Canucks defenseman not named Quinn Hughes this year. I could be
Kaya, plug your ears. Plug your ears, Kaya.
Yeah.
You're still here.
But no, like, look, I've said on this show, there are nights where it looks like, man, this dude is like a legit top 4 defenseman. And then there are nights where it's like, man, this guy might be a scratch in the American Hockey League. Like,
Yeah.
it is so all over the place with this guy.
Yeah, it's either, like you said, he's the next coming of Bobby Orr, or you better start learning Russian, buddy. Wait, hold on. That doesn't make sense in that situation. The joke is shipped off to the KHL. But yeah, no, I'd say stay for him as well. Shantae, you stay. If he's allowed.
I forgot to,
because I don't think they like Dragon Russia, but whatever.
Yeah. I forgot to add this one in before. Matthew Phillips.
Oh.
Right?
Sachet away for better things, because I love you.
If it's a different coach, Shantae, you stay.
Yes.
If it's the same coach, you will never get the love you deserve here. It'll be your outer saboteur instead of your inner saboteur. So
yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah. Goalies, Jacob Markstrom and Dan Vladar. I'll do them as a pair.
Oh God. Okay. Markstrom is gonna be a Shantae you stay, and Vladar is gonna be a Sachet away.
I said sachet away to both. I did I did a double elimination. Now,
okay.
This is again with the understanding it might be difficult to move Markstrom after the worst season he's had since moving to Canada. But I feel like again, if you're looking at getting assets, there are goalie needy teams out there.
Mm-hmm.
You could talk yourself very easily into, it was a bad year. He had a lot going on in his family, blah, 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 and be able to trade him there. I am not saying that Dustin Wolf needs to start 65 games for this team next year. I would say quite the opposite of that. If you were to bring in random veteran, one of the 8 goalies who Ottawa had this year, bring one of them in to be kind of the main starter and let Wolf ease his way into the National Hockey League. But Wolf is on my opening day roster next year.
I kind of
veteran goalie X.
I kind of thought veteran goalie X for me would be Jacob Markstrom. And they could, like, the way I kind of thought it out in my head was like you give Markstrom way less starts and you kind of, well, maybe not way less, but you give him less and you rely more on Wolf if you can ease him in, and that transition is seamless as we all hope it is. But yeah,
Markstrom I think played 59 games this year, like we talked about before. So like if you got him to around 50 and then 32 for Wolf, that might work.
I don't see anything wrong with that. I think that could work. Hopefully Markstrom bounces back, and you're looking at a pretty solid tandem there. But yeah, I think Vladar's as good as gone. Actually, funny enough, I think he would be a great Ottawa Senator for a team that could use a goaltender. And probably does not want to bring Cam Talbot back.
Yeah. And now the obvious ones. Brad Treliving.
Sachet away for better things, and I loved you while you were here, but yeah, it's going to be thanks for everything, but we're not bringing you back.
Yeah, pulled off some amazing trades, signed some amazing contracts, pulled off some bad trades, and signed some bad contracts. But yeah, it's sachet away for Brad Treliving. And the last one. Daryl Sutter. For me, it is a very quick sachet away. This was a disaster, and I put most of it on the coach. Yeah,
I 100% sachet away, and please bring Kirk Muller with you.
Oh my God, yes. It's 1,000 times yes.
Yeah, I'm glad that we don't have to see any more of that power play until October. Well, hopefully he's not back.
I hope we never see that again. That was dreadful.
Horrendous.
Again, we're talking about a team that's going to miss the playoffs by like 3 to 5 games. There's probably a couple in there where if you scored a power play goal, then things kind of move in the right direction.
You would hope so. But, see, James saying sachet. Everybody's saying away for Daryl Sutter, and rightfully so. There's a lot of people that hold on to sentimental value, to which I say, what did he do, really? Aside from strike gold in 2004 and lead them, I wouldn't even say he led them on a cup run there. The surrounding cast did, and aside from that, what's there to love about Daryl Sutter's tenure with Calgary? He was a horrible GM, and outside of that cup run in 2004, was not the best of coaches. He had got fired from the Sharks shortly before then, anyways. So, I think the time has come. It's run its course, and a new bench boss, and that's not going to be. It's not going to be Brad Treliving's 7th or 6th coach, whatever it is. It's going to be whoever comes in next. Is probably not many times do you see a GM come in and keep his previous GM's coaching staff anyways.
Yeah.
So I'd be pretty surprised if a new GM comes in and Daryl Sutter's still employed for that reason. But that aside, I think he's as good as gone.
Again, make no mistake about it. This season's a disaster for the Flames, right? Like the projections of winning the division and finishing with over 100 points. And now we're doing drag race themed games on the last night of the regular season because that's how the year went. Like this season is a disaster. They are one of the most disappointing teams in the league. And as everything, it was a team effort from the top on down. This was just an absolute disaster. So I think it's pretty clear. I think that there needs to be a full cleaning of the house out here and try to go in a different direction, because this whole just being average for 1,000 years isn't going to.
Just being average is the epitome of how it is to be someone who covers this team and watched this team for as long as you have and I have. Perpetual mediocrity, and hopefully that changes. We'll see what happens. It's yet to be seen, but we'll hopefully be the ones to break it down here with you. I don't foresee any changes coming in our end. I hope not, at least, and we'll be back chopping it up with everybody next season. Before we do our final sign off, we wanted to say thank you to Robert.
Yes,
a huge reason as to why everything. I got something in my eye. It's gonna look like I'm crying. I'm not, Rob. I love you, but I'm not much of a crier. He's a huge reason why everything, not only on Game Over, but at SDPN as a whole, goes off the way it does. Because he's at the forefront, leading us and making sure that all of our tech is up and running. Making sure if we need to use his Zoom Premium, which we're using right now, we can do so we can run a little bit longer. This whole network is nowhere without the help of Robert and everything that he does. So we love Rob. There's a lot of Rob love in the chat right now as we start this final. Thank you to Rob. And yeah, we just wanted to. That's my piece. Thank you, Rob, for everything that you do. You've been such a big help to me, and I know it's been the same for everybody else, modding the shows and everything. I see Dennis and Kaya in here as well. They're showing their support to Rob, but yeah, I'll turn it over to you to kind of, I'm sure, echo the same thing that I've said.
Yeah, that'd be quite the turn. Actually, Rob, no.
Fuck that guy.
But no, I couldn't agree more. Like the absolute heartbeat of this network is Robert, and the fact that, like I said before, I can't physically imagine doing everything that he does, and to be able to do all of that, still, I think, allegedly get some sleep, and be back at it the next day is phenomenal. And dealing with a lot of the things that have happened in the National Hockey League this season, taking all of that as in stride, as he has, and just continued on, has been unbelievable as well. And so, yeah, no, like I've worked at several places, and I've never met anyone like Rob. And from both a personal standpoint and a work standpoint, like just an unbelievable human, an unbelievable worker as well. Yeah. And yeah, cannot say more about like how desperately we need him here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just a super quality person who checks all the boxes and helps us out with everything we need. But before we do our final sign off, there's just one thing left for me to do. You okay. Ready? Just bear with me here. Taking off the headset.
All right.
Ready here.
Oh, and the hat. Oh, you have hair.
It's time. It is time, folks. Sorry.
I was gonna make the joke about we're sending Toffoli to Audie's favorite team before, and I forgot to, and now here we are.
All right. Hopefully you didn't say anything too mean about me when I couldn't hear you, but this one's a little tight. Put on a couple lbs since I put this jersey on last. Either that or it just doesn't want to go on. The last time I wore this jersey actually was when I applied for the show. I put this jersey on to try to impress Steve, and clearly it worked.
Yeah.
Between that and Sir Bagalos, who will be back next season, rest assured.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, Seb saying Auddie puts the ass in passion. So yes, Leafs Nation, I am yours. Go Leafs. That's all I got left.
Look, like I am not the traditional Toronto hater. I'm not going to go. I don't own. I do have a Leafs jersey in my parents' place. It's from when I was 8. So it super doesn't fit me anymore. I was a big kid, but not this big. But no, like I am not the usual Toronto hater. I lived in Toronto for a couple of years. I went to Leaf games. Fun fact, I was at the last Leaf game of the Matt Stajan era. The very next day got traded. I was at the last game he ever played as a Toronto Maple Leaf. So
Wow.
you know, the ties run deep for sure. But I think they're a fun team. I think they've built a team in a way that I would like to see other teams build it. And so I just want them to do well. So I'm not going to go as far as being like noted Leaf fan, Auddie. At this point, I now cheer for my bank account and just go whoever I bet on that night.
Yep.
But yeah, no, Toronto certainly has a shot for sure.
That's fair. Hey, Leafs fans, let's Leafs. What have I been saying? Leafs Nation, let's ride. I think that'll do it. Go ahead.
But before we go, I don't know what the postseason holds for either of us. Do we want to give quick predictions? Put you on the spot entirely.
I'm gonna do it just very quickly. I'm gonna say, this is gonna sound stupid, and I'm gonna get roasted for it. Oilers Leafs. Oilers Leafs.
I'm gonna go Avalanche over the Leafs in the Cup final. I think once again Edmonton stumbles against Colorado in the West final. I think that could line up, and I just think Colorado is so fucking good.
They are so good.
Yeah.
But I want to see some Canadian teams in there. And now I'm gonna get, oh shit, that's Steve. Oh, pink slip. Right, you're supposed to cheer for Calgary, not Edmonton. So that'll do it for. In all seriousness, this has been a blast. It took Peter and I 80 or 70, oh God, my math sucks, 80 games to get to a point where we'd finally reconnect and get on together, and did 81 and 82 together. But it's been a blast. It's not goodbye. It's just see you later until next season, hopefully. And maybe it's a different story with the Calgary Flames. We'll see. That chapter is still yet to be written in this crazy book called the Calgary Flames. On behalf of myself, on behalf of my good friend Peter, who is now coming at us from his phone camera, and will have his tech issues sorted out next year. This has been Game Over Calgary, presented by SDPN Sports and our good friends over at Sports Interaction. We will see you guys next season for Game Over Calgary. Might see us later on in the playoffs. Who knows? We'll see what happens there. But in terms of Game Over Calgary, we will talk to you guys on Game 1 of the 2023-2024 NHL season. Be safe. Have a great summer. Enjoy the Stanley Cup playoffs. Go Leafs, go. And we will talk to you guys in 23-24. Love you guys, and we'll see you later.
Game over! Powered by Sports Interaction, Canada Sportsbook.